Sean Mack, the Renault Pro, and I'm just going to give you an actual tour of the workshop. We decided that we wanted to change our direction on how we stored and transported all of our equipment. So I did a little research, invested a little bit of money, and so we built a workshop that gives us an opportunity to be mobile and be as effective as someone who has a storage location or a stationary workshop. So here we go. Let me give you a quick tour. Of course, this right here is not a short cane. It actually goes inside this hole once we pull the workbench all the way out, and it keeps it stable. And a leg falls out to hold it up once it gets so far out. But it extends 8 feet, and I'm not gonna pull it all the way out because I don't want to have to put it back together or push it back in. So that's what we have. We have a 7-foot drawer down here, and it carries all of my long items, brooms, shovels, sledgehammers, and among other things, as you can see, wire, water spray, or whatever you want to call it. So all of my straight edges I keep in here. Yes, I have my straight edges. I have my 4-foot leveler. It's my 4-foot, yeah. My 4-foot leveler, and I have my 6-foot leveler. It's stored in here as well. So, you have to try and utilize all of your space the smartest way you possibly can. That way you can put as much stuff as you possibly can. Put them in one at a time. Okay, there we go. So there it is. So there they. Oh, and right here is where I keep my 8-foot ladder. It slides all the way in. So that space is dedicated. We have the table saw right here. This is my bridge table saw, and this wet saw. Sorry. And this is my table saw right here. As you can see, I hit Harbor Freight up. I try to call myself upscale and get the Hercules series, but don't always have the money for it. This is my little storage area right here, and that's where I keep like screws. I mark the screws so I know what kind of screws that I have in here. And with their 4 party board screws, I have nails, and these are just air fitting pieces, all kind of stuff. That's where I keep all my screwdrivers, flatheads, Phillips head screwdrivers, or when I was in the military we called them cross tips, pencils, Sharpies, little miscellaneous USB chargers, of course. I'm not gonna go through all the drawers, but an empty tray. So this is just an idea of how I do my storage just right here. If I'm cutting it, I'm using this. I have a Dremel kit, I have a tile cutting kit, I have cut my little circles with. This one has all my little drill bits and stuff in it, and I have other drill bits and stuff that needs to go in there. And this drawer right here is not dedicated to anything yet, but all of them, like I have a tile drawer, I have a paint drawer where all my painting equipment and painting stuff and masks and all that stuff sits down there, and rollers, all that. This is a pretty deep drawer. Drawer's about 1.5 feet deep, and it's 1 foot in height, and it's 2 feet wide. Then we have just more drawers for different storage. All of these drawers have these little lips right here that keep it in. Some of them, the bigger ones down here, you have to lift to pull out because of this little mechanism that you can glue down in the corners. But I decided, because I got lazy, I didn't want to keep doing that, so I just made the drawers a little tighter. So this is where I have storage for all of my. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. So I didn't even tell you about this. This is where this is my 10-inch miter saw, and it slides out. Then you lock it in place like this. That keeps it stable, and then you're able to cut and do whatever. And then here, I have a vac system, so it sucks up as much dust as it possibly can, and it sucks pretty tough. So it sucked a quarter up one time. I was so upset, but then it came back on the other end. Haha, get it? Okay, so this is where I store all of my wireless and corded tools, big tools, drills, sanders, and all of like the saws that I use, routers. This is my rotary saw. I mean rotary drill. So it's quite a few things that I keep here, and this is just the upper storage right here. But I use this right now, just for miscellaneous stuff. Blankets that I use when I'm doing all kind of stuff, and a couple of bags, so I don't have to come outside every time. I can just grab stuff and bring it in. But I have it designed this way so that I can, if I would decide I want to put another one of these up here because I need that extra space for more tools that I bought, I'll have that access. And each of these are separate cabinets. Like this drawer is a separate cabinet by itself, and this whole setup here is a separate cabinet of its own. And this whole section here is a cabinet, and this bottom section is a cabinet. So everything is isolated to its own designated space. Everything is either 2 or 4 feet long. Try and keep it even. That way I can always take 2 of the 2-foot cabinets and put them over here where I have a 4-foot space, So anyway, so over here, this is where I have my dry wet vac, whatever you want to call it, section, and it's hooked up through a PVC pipe, and it's connected to the end. This is where all of the action goes on down there. It starts right here, baby. And so right here, this is my power supply. So I have a 100-foot 10-amp cord, extension cord, and of course this is for a water hose. But I just had to rig it up real quick for what I need it for. And I plug this in, and I take the other end and plug it into the whatever my client's garage, or generally an outside plug, and that wires everything up. And everything is LED, so it's very energy efficient. And the only thing I'm doing is using the exact same saws I would use if I were in their house using their plugs. So same thing. And this is where I keep my compressor. All of my hoses go down in a hole right here. If you look right here, you'll see a hole. Yeah, and I have a little roller there so it doesn't, rub against the wood and start to eventually wear down on this $120-some extension cord that I have. And of course my compressor hose goes down as well. And I have backup 100-foot cord and backup 100-foot airline. And I have, of course, my normal extension cords and my heavy-duty power strip. I have my electric air sprayer, paint gun right here. Just took it back. Harbor Freight, baby. Gotta love them. All right. This is where I keep my par stands. I figured 4 was enough, so this thing is only big enough for 4 because it reduces some of the mobility. It doesn't move around much, when I'm driving. And here is where I keep, of course, my broom. But then I can also keep, this is where I roll around and collect nails and screws and metal, any metallic objects that I've had to, shavings and stuff. And my my little, what do you call these?
A ladder.
It's not a ladder. Step ladders. Okay, there we go. So anyway, I had to ask my daughter. I had to ask her what something is. You want to see my daughter? Let me show you. No, she doesn't want me to show her. Okay, she's pretty though. Okay, and so everything has its designated space, and then of course I have it set up so that it doesn't move. Same thing with my 12-inch miter saw stand. And I can put any one of my miter saws on it because I can take the other one off if I need to, but why? And but anyway, this is where it's stored. And right here, this is my oh my God, this ladder. I don't know how tall it gets. It's 20-something feet up there, but it's 22 feet, I think it is. But this ladder right here is awesome. But anyway, it stays. It just slides right into this little spot. And I got a couple little strips of wood down in the bottom that keeps it in its place. And this, of course, stays here. It's a little piece of wood. It's designed for it to just store in this spot, and I can sweep trash into it. But if I need to, I just push down and take it out. But for the most part, we just leave it in there. Oh, cool. Check it. So I have a step ladder. It's about 2 feet high. Step ladder, and it's good like if I'm working on a roof, or if I'm trying to float a space I'm working above my head, and I can step on this, and it gives me that leverage that I need so I can get closer to the ceiling. But anyway, this thing right here is awesome. It's 4 feet wide, and check it. I didn't have any more places on the walls where I could store it, and I didn't want to dedicate a cabinet for something this size. So what did I do? I used the joists or the rafters, or whatever you want to call them, the support beams on the top of the trailer, and it's not that heavy. So, and I just built a little wooden frame that would hold it in, and it's simple. You just unfold this and take that back, and then boom, you take it down, and you're ready to use it. Then you slide it right on back in here, put that back that way, turn that that way, boom, store it, you know? And after doing this, I'm thinking, you know what, if I decide to give me another tool that's flat, or some type of equipment that's flat, I'll just store it up here too, you know. But I gotta make sure I manage the weight. Anyway, so, you know, this is my first trailer. So the goal is to grow where I'll need eventually 10, 15 trailers, who knows. But I wanna go wherever that natural disaster is. I wanna be able to build as many homes as I possibly need, and I need to make sure that me or my crew always have access to everything that we could possibly need to complete the job within the time required. Anyway, so, oh yeah, so I want to give credit to Ron Polk. That is the guy who he motivated not just me, but quite a few people with this mobile workshop. I watched quite a few videos with him, and quite a few videos with people he inspired, and I gathered as many of those ideas that I thought would help me in my situation. And I think that, I'm not sure if he was the first person ever, but I know he's the one person who has really been more forthcoming with information and ideas on how to you know, design these enclosed trailers and make them mobile workshops. So this is mine, and this is new, and we're going to explore this, and I think this is going to have an awesome outcome. I'm excited to see how effective this trailer is. So that concludes the tour, and you see my number at the bottom of the screen. Give me a call. Check out my Facebook page. It's Sean Mack, the Rental Pro. So you can just find me on Facebook and give me a call. We'll give you a free estimate, and hopefully we'll be hearing from you soon. And when TRP pulls up, we pull up ready to build, baby.